Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shayma Gharib, and today's lesson about decimal pairs of 1 using tens and using hundreds. Let's start by revising some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Pairs of 10. Let's revise pairs of 10 quickly. So we have 0 plus 10 and 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8 and 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5. Now let's answer this question. How many tens are there in one whole? Let's imagine this is a one whole shape and it's divided into 10 equal parts, as you can see. Then each part of it is 1 over 10, which is 1/10. So if I want to write this as a fraction, I will find it is 10 out of 10, or 10/10, which is 10 over 10, which is 1 whole. So 10/10 equals 1 whole. And this is the most important information. I want you to know it now. So 1 whole equals 10/10. Now, if I have 3/10 and I want to complete it to be 1 whole, we said the 1 whole equal 10/10. So I need to complete the number of tens to be 10/10. I only have 3/10. Then I need 7/10. So 3/10 plus 7/10 equals 10/10, which is 1 whole. If I want to write them as a decimal, 3/10 is 0.3. What about the 7/10? 0.7. Then 0.3 plus 0.7 equals 1. So remember, every time to make 1 whole, I need to complete the number of tens to be 10/10. Let's see one more example. If I have 5/10, then I need to complete them to be 10/10. So it will be 5/10 and 5/10. If I want to write them as a decimal, 5/10 is 0.5. So it will be 0.5 and 0.5, which is 1. 5/10 and 5/10 equals 1 whole. If I have 8/10, then I need 2 more tens. So 8 and 2 is 10, so it's a 10/10, which is 1 whole. As we said, 1 whole equals 10/10, and 10/10 equals 1 whole. Decimal form, 8/10 equals 0.8, then the 2/10, 0.2. Let's see one more example. What about 4/10? What do you think? Yes, 6/10. So 4/10 plus 6/10 gives 1 whole. 0.4 plus 0.6 equals 1 whole. If I have only 1/10, then I need 9/10 to make it 10/10. 1/10 equals 0.1 and 9/10 equals 0.9. Now we can say that decimal pairs of 1, 0.1 plus 0.9, 0.2 plus 0.8, 0.3 and 0.7, 0.4 and 0.6, 0.5 and 0.5. Now let's talk about decimal pairs of 1, but this time we are going to use hundredths. Let's revise pairs of 100 first. Look at these two numbers, 36 plus 64 equals 100. I want you to notice something about the digits in the units place here, or in the ones place. We have 6 and 4, and the sum of these two digits together is number 6 and 4 equals number 10. What about 3 and 6? The digits in the tens place equals 3 and 6, 9. So if I want to find the pairs of 100, you have to make sure that the sum of the digits in the units place is 10 and the sum of the digits in the tens place is 9. Okay, remember this before you start to solve. Now let's talk about hundredths. How many hundredths are there in one whole? We said before about the tenths that there are 10 tenths in one whole. Each 10 tenths form one whole. What about the hundredths? Look at this shape. It's one whole and it's divided into 100 small parts. So each part of these parts is 100ths. The small part here is 100ths. 100ths. So if I count on the hundredths in this one shape, so 100ths, 200ths, 300ths, 400ths, 500ths, and so on until I reach 100 hundredths. So we can say that 100 hundredths, which is 100 over 100 as a fraction, equals one whole. So 100 hundredths equals one whole. So to form one whole, I need to complete the number of hundredths into 100. I only have 35 hundredths. So to make it one whole, I need to complete number 35 to be 100. As we said, the sum of the units together must add up to 10. So the 5 needs another 5 to make 10. And the 3 needs, 6 to form 9. So I need 65 hundredths to make number 1. Now let's write them as decimals. 35 hundredths as a decimal number will be 0.35 and 65 hundredths as a decimal will be 0.65. And again, remember these two digits together, the digits in the hundredths place, they add up to 10, and the digits in the tenth place add up to 9. Is this clear? So always remember that 100 hundredths equals 1. Then let's see more examples. I have 15 hundredths. So 15 and what makes 100? So I need 85 hundredths. So 15 hundredths and 85 hundredths makes 100 hundredths, which is number 1. If I want to write them as a decimal, it will be 0.15 plus 0.85. One more example, I have 45 hundredths. I need to form one whole. So how many hundredths I need? Do you remember? I will complete this to be 10. I will complete this to be 9. So it will be 55 hundredths. So as a decimal, it will be 0.45 plus 0.55. And again, the hundredths together add up to 10. The tenths together add up to 9. One more example, 5 hundredths. So I only have 5 hundredths, which means I need 95 hundredths. In a decimal form, it will be 5 hundredths is 0.05 and 95 hundredths is 0.95. What about 25 hundredths? So 25 need 75 hundredths to form 100 hundredths in total, which is one whole. As a decimal, it will be 0.25 plus 0.75. If I have 53 hundredths, so I need to complete it to 1, so I need 47 hundredths. So 53 and 47 makes 100 hundredths. So as a decimal, 0.53 and 0.47 equals 1 whole. 21 hundredths, so if I have 21 hundredths, so I need 79 more hundredths to complete it to 100 hundredths, which is 1 whole. As a decimal, it will be 0.21 plus 0.79. 94 hundredths plus what gives 1? So I need only 6 hundredths because 94 plus 6 equals 100. So I need 6 hundredths more. 0.94 plus 6 hundredths, 0.06. 99 hundredths. So if I have 99 hundredths, it means I only need 1 more hundredths. As a decimal, it will be 0.99 plus 0.01. Now, let's have some questions. Are you ready? Let's start. 84 hundredths plus what gives 1? Yes, 16 hundredths. 84 plus 16 makes 100 hundredths, which is 1. 0.84 plus 0.16. 2 hundredths plus what gives 1? 98 hundredths. So in total, they form 100 hundredths. So we can say 0.02 plus, yes, 0.98. If I have 5 tenths and I need to complete it to be 1, you remember we said 10 tenths equals 1. So I need 5 tenths more. So it will be 0.5 plus 0.5 gives 1 whole. Now look at this group of questions. 1 minus 0.3, which is 3 tenths. So the answer will be 0.7 or 7 tenths because we said the 1 whole equals 10 tenths. I have 3 tenths here, then the answer will be 7 tenths. 1 minus a number equals 1 tenth. The 1 whole is 10 tenths. So I will take 9 tenths from the 1 whole to give me 1 tenth. Or we can say 1 tenth plus what gives 1 whole. Now I have hundredths. And we know that 1 whole equals 100 hundredths. So here I have 36 hundredths. So I need to complete this number to be 1 whole, or when I take the 36 hundredths from 1 whole, it will give me, do you remember what did we say? The digits in the hundredths, they add up to 10. Then the digit in the hundredths will be 4. And in the tenths, add up to 9. Then it will be 6. So I need 0.64 or 64 hundredths. Now I have 17 hundredths. I will do exactly the same. The 7 needs 3 to form 10 and the 1 needs 8 to form 9. So it will be 0.89 or 83 hundredths. 83 hundredths and 17 hundredths makes 100 hundredths, which is 1 whole. 1 minus what gives 0.03, which is 3 hundredths. So I only have 3 hundredths, which means I need 97 hundredths. The 3 needs 7 to form 10, and the 0 needs 9 to form 9, so it will be 0.97 or 97 hundredths. And the total number of hundredths should be 100. 1 minus 6 hundredths. So when I take 6 hundredths from 100 hundredths, I will have 94 hundredths. The 6 needs a 4 and the 0 needs 9. So it is 0.94 or 94 hundredths. So remember, the sum of the hundredths together should add up to 100. So 6 hundredths and 94 hundredths equals 100 hundredths, which is the 1 whole. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. Please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and have a nice day.